Hello and welcome to Please Don't Send Me Into Outer Space, the podcast intent on exploring all that science fiction and fantasy has to offer, one movie at a time. Hey, my name's Joel. Anybody else?
Going down clockwise.
Oh, yeah.
Aaron, what's your name?
My name's Aaron.
My name's Jose.
My name's Sarah.
My name's Ethan Hawke. And that was our new intro music provided to us by a friend of ours. I'm not going to name names. Should we name his entire name? What do you think he would want? I guess we should have asked him that before we did that.
Yeah. Let's ask him, but...
Until then, give him a pseudonym.
Okay. We'll call him 3C.
3C.
Okay.
I don't really get that.
Like high C, but instead of high, it's 3.
You make that into a gang sign.
I know what the real
reason
is.
Okay.
Stop making gang signs. Jeez, you guys. Okay. Let me do this part before I get into what's going on here. Oh my gosh. We've lost control. The movie this week was Predestination from 2014. Directed by Michael Spierig and Peter Spierig, or as they're called in the credits, the Spierig brothers. Starring Ethan Hawke as the barkeep. Didn't have a name. Sarah Snook as the unmarried mother. I mean, she was, Jane, right? But, yeah, anyways. And who else? I mean, Mr. Miller was Christopher Sommers.
Who's that Robertson guy?
That's
the boss?
Yeah.
Big boss?
I guess. Unless I'm reading the wrong person. Yeah, that's not him. Who is this person? Wow, I don't even see his name. I know who that guy is. That's the guy from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory and Game of Thrones and stuff. Noah Taylor. Mr. Robinson.
Oh, that's the John Waters kind of Tony Stark looking guy?
Yeah.
John Waters. That's what I was thinking of.
John Waters?
Yeah, the mustache, man.
It made me think of Walt Disney.
John Waters.
Okay.
It wasn't pencil thin like that.
That was like, well, I think it might have been a skeletal structure that kind of led me to believe.
John Waters is a national treasure. Anyway.
Hey, man.
So what else have
Crybaby's a great movie.
Directors done?
That's a good question. Let's find out. According to the old Spangdaimler schmicker, I mean, they've already declared themselves the brothers. Maybe they're special effects people. Majored in graphic design at college. That's the only information. He also directed Daybreakers, that other movie that you were talking about.
Holy crap, for reals?
As Vamp Bro. A movie called Undead and a short called The Big Picture.
Huh.
Have you seen Daybreakers, Jose?
I haven't, no.
Yeah. Aaron?
I kind of liked it. Yeah, I've seen it.
Yeah.
I saw the beginning of it once at my mom's. Cool. I thought this was Daybreakers when we started watching it.
Oh.
Yeah.
We thought he was a time-traveling vampire. So, we have Jose on because he is an expert at chronomancy. And he's going to, when we get into it, he's going to explain the details and scientific ins and outs of time travel as we know it nowadays.
Yeah, with sugar packets and, straws.
Yeah, the way David Lynch does it.
Yeah.
But before we get into that, we're going to have to spoil this movie just to talk about it, because this movie is spoiler. It is a spoiler, the movie. And it's really good. I think that I think it's really good. Let's give a general feeling about it. How do you guys feel about the movie?
It's
I'm not sure. Personally,
it's what most people classify as a mind and a great overall picture.
Wait, what do you mean a great overall picture? You mean you really enjoyed it?
I thoroughly enjoyed it.
I'm asking for your opinion. There we go. Okay. Yes.
Opinion received.Moving on.
Aaron's shaking his head. He hated it.
Oh, no, it was not bad at all.
Not
It was
bad
a
at all.
Pretty awesome movie, I thought.
Yeah, I don't know exactly how I feel about it yet. It was entertaining, but there were a couple of movies it reminded me of, and I kept getting kind of distracted by that. Initially, I think it took me a minute to get, like, my bearings at first, too. I don't know how you guys felt in the beginning, but...
Yeah, definitely that way. Right?
Oh, most definitely. Yeah. I want to say... Well, I expected most of the movie to take place in that bar scene in the beginning, which is cool because a lot of great scenes happen in bars. Just looking at Inglourious Bastards, but I knew once we were in that bar for longer than like 10 minutes that we were in for a treat.
It was a very interesting way to start the movie. That's for sure. I mean, I wondered if, yeah, like you said, I wondered if it was ever going to
Leave that. Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay, synopsis is it's a movie about some sort of time cop. It was not Jean-Claude Van Damme, who is fixated on one particular event, and as he's on the eve of his retirement, he is given one more chance to go back and fix it. Does that sound about right?
Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah.
Aaron, would you recommend this to people?
Yeah, I think I would. I mean, it's definitely a pretty trippy movie, but I think it's worth at least a view.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Watching it, I couldn't believe it took me this long to sit down. I can't believe it took a podcast to make me watch this movie because it's been on my list for a while and I've been meaning to watch it. And now that I've seen it, holy crap, I should have seen this sooner. It's just a fantastic movie and I would definitely recommend it.
Yeah, I enjoyed it, and it did keep me guessing almost the entire way through. But I almost felt like it was provoking you to kind of figure out what it was going to be before you knew what it was, because it doesn't give you very much, and you think, wait a minute, there's this premise of like a time cop, and then we're just kind of hanging out here.
Yeah.
Like, why are we just hanging out here?
Why aren't we doing time cop things?
Oh,
Yeah.
It definitely goads you to come up with theories of your own.
Yeah.
No doubt about
I
it.
thought so.
I feel like that defying the expectations in the beginning like that was good, because it really, that was like a rug pull. I didn't know what was going to happen because of that. And you're right. Yeah, it prompts you to try to figure out the entire time what's going on. And I don't think it's too complicated. I think we all basically knew at some point what was going to be happening in the movie. But I found it to be particularly visually stunning and well acted, no matter what the conclusion of the movie came to. I think people should see it.
Yeah, I think it was a good movie. I'm kind of processing it still, I think.
Okay, let's go into spoilers.
Just right away.
Well, before we do that, Twitter at Outer Space Pod. If you want to email us, it's pleasedon'tpodcast@gmail.com. We already have our movie for next week. We used the randomizer earlier, just because we knew we were going to have to talk about spoilers here. And barring any sort of interruptions, the randomizer hates us and chose Sabrina the Teenage Witch from 1996.
Oh, man.
Starring Melissa Joan Hart. Whew. God. We'll take what we get. So, spoilers. Aaron?
Well, I think the number one spoiler that everyone should definitely think about is definitely, I believe that Quincy was definitely the Fizzle Bomber.
Yeah, well, Ethan Hawke was Quincy the whole time. You can't bring Quincy in. So when that train exploded in a different timeline, he was still in the train.
Yes, exactly.
And that's what happened. Okay. Now, Jose's looking because he doesn't know what that is.
I don't know what.
Yeah. It's my favorite movie, Quincy's Quest.
So,
I'm sorry. What was the question again? I
The
apologize.
biggest
reveal.
I don't
biggest
want
reveal.
That's not the question. The question
The
is,
biggest-
you just look like you are thinking very seriously. Like I'm sitting across the table from you,
Yeah.
and you have this look like you're processing a lot. And I want to know what's on your mind.
I'm still just thinking about the movie, honestly, just because. Well, I mean, we just saw it like 5 minutes ago, right?
Yes.
Pretty much.
Let me check the time machine there.
I thought that it was weird that he was acting like he didn't know that character was a woman. Like, initially when they were in the bar, I was like, that's a woman. That's what I thought.
Yeah.
It looked like a woman to me as well.
But he was playing his role to a T.
There's a point to all of it.
And he was like, I don't even know what to say right now. So we're just spoiling it, or what do you want to say?
We could just talk about whatever you want to talk about. I mean,
sometimes the name of the film doesn't really have much to do with the film, but in this case, it's quite literally like what happens in the movie. You know it, and
he's certainly predestined.
Yeah, I mean, I was just thinking about that right now, and I know it doesn't sound very deep or whatnot, but
no, it does. Seriously,
it was just,
it is supposed to kind of freak you out, I think, too, like to make you feel, turned upside down, however you want to say it.
Woo.
What you said, Jose.
Definitely what Jose said.
Yeah, totally. No, just laying it on there. The biggest spoiler being that Ethan Hawke himself, like literally.
This is a rated Jose. This is a rated PG-13 podcast. Every time you curse, I'm going to have to bleep it.
Oh, well, I didn't realize. Yeah.
Who is this?
I don't know. It's an actual person.
Let's
Ashton
look
Kutcher.
up that person.
Ooh, Robert Heinlein?
Yeah.
He's an author.
He did the Bug one, right?
He's done a bunch of
Bug
sci-fi,
them on the Mac.
definitely sci-fi stuff.
I don't know what the bug is.
Starship Troopers.
Ooh.
The Bug one, yeah.
Excellent.
Right?
Yeah, I
You're
don't
probably right. You know more about it than I do.
I've never seen the movie, but
know. There he is. He's bald. That's all I can say about him now. For us, The Living, a comedy of customs. Galaxy science fiction.
My dad is just shaking his head right now.
Starship Troopers.
He has a bookshelf full of Heinlein books.
Yeah,
and I've grown up staring at them, not ever reading them, but staring at them.
Your dad is like...
He's just shaking his head right now, like,
failed,
why isn't my son just naming off everything that he's read since he's a child? All the titles of those books.
Don't worry, we'll edit all this out to
Don't
make
worry.
you sound really smart.
we're here to discuss movie
Intimidation.
pictures.
Yeah, Aaron, we're gonna cue you, and
Not
then you're
letters
just gonna
printed in
say
a
them
book.
all like you just they're coming off the top of your head.
Oh, beautiful. That's right, Pop. I didn't let you down.
So, Jose,
Yes.
can you say that without cursing?
I'd have to try to. How do I rephrase
I mean,
this?
let's talk about what we liked about this movie. Let's
Ethan Hawke impregnates himself.
He's not Ethan Hawke when he does it, but he is Ethan Hawke.
He is Ethan Hawke.
He just doesn't look like Ethan
Not at one
Hawke.
point. True.
The movie starts with Ethan Hawke, except it's not Ethan Hawke. It's somebody we don't see.
Ethan Hawke meaning
Getting horribly scarred,
Yes.
and then having their face replaced, and all of a sudden it's Ethan Hawke.
Like we're talking Anakin Skywalker scarred.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like I hate you. I can burn. Oh,
missing an arm and a leg. Going,
Yeah, I've noticed I cuss
"No."
more when I'm around.
You may
you.
try.
'Cause I barely ever cuss
Remember that
on
was the
here,
one.
and I already have.
You may try.
You have?
Yeah, today
You're
I already
funny.
have.
Hey,
That was a lightsaber.
yeah. So yeah. It starts with another character. You don't know what gender they are. You just know that they are burned and scarred.
you assume they have a penis.
You assume they have. I assume they had a dick.
It looked pretty mannish.
I'm just kidding.
Looked like man.
What?
I don't like all of the face weirdness they did in this. Maybe that was one of the things that held me up from being like, this movie was great.
Yeah.
Was the face stuff? So are you not a fan of Face Off?
No.
Well, shucks. Okay, all right.
Don't know many who are.
God, I wish I knew many who weren't. Because I seem to only know people who are.
Oh, Lord. I'm trying to think of other movies where... Well, it reminded me of Cloud Atlas. That's why I was wondering if the makers had anything to do, like...
Mm-hmm.
Because in Cloud Atlas, that one's kind of a weird one, too. And there's all these people replaying themselves over and over again, but in different...
Faces
genders. And genders and times.
With the help of movie magic.
I just think it's a hard thing to pull off because you are trying to, as the viewer, you're supposed to think that it's realistic. And it's hard to do because, like, for me, it's a distraction that it isn't quite right visually.
That doesn't bother me at all. I don't understand because I never thought, oh, that doesn't look real. I thought I wouldn't know what that looked like. I mean, I assumed that he had somebody else's face literally grafted on him in that point. Like, maybe that's what that would look like. But I don't know. He looked like a big old scarred baby. And he needed a binky.
It was... I have to agree with Sarah. That scene where after they grafted the face on him, it was, just weird seeing, like, the back of his head all, like, baby smooth.
Yeah.
And then, like...
It's all been
baby smooth. And then, like...
put on.
And then the ridiculous amount of stitches around his face. Yeah, I don't know. It was a bit strange.
I enjoyed all the visuals of this movie. Like,
cool.
The cameras and the lighting and everything going on. Like, I mean, what do you mean? What do you not like?
Oh, no, I was just saying that it was gross, dude. It was gross.
So,
Oh, the face stuff?
I was saying, what do you think?
About the face? Are we still talking about the face?
Yes, we're still talking about
makeup.
the face stuff.
I thought the makeup was fine. I mean, the whole stitches around the face just really hammer. I mean, it was really hammer home that he got another face, put on.
He screwed up, We had a big old fireball in the face.
Yeah, no, it was.
I wasn't just talking about that moment. I was talking about all the face makeup to try and make people look like they were somebody else.
Yes, the gender one with Jane being what Joe now? John at the bar, that seemed a little off. Yeah. Just like we said earlier, we could tell that was a woman. But after a certain point, you just kind of but you just disregard it because the movie, well, at least for me, the movie really, really pulled me in. And so far as the whole visual aspect here, I thought it was awesome.
Okay. Cool. That's the end of the podcast. It was great talking to you again. No,
thanks, Joel.
Shut up.
Why? Why?
All right. Now
we're taking sides here.
We talked a lot, or so far we've talked a lot about expectations in the movie early on.
Right.
I have to say that during the bar scene, when they were starting to get our two characters here situated, I almost immediately believed that I guess Jane or John was going to end up being the Fizzle Bomber. That was something that, well, I mean, because, time cop goes back in time. What's his objective? To take out the bomber, right? So I figured that this individual was going to be the bomber.
Right.
So, I mean, I was thoroughly pleased to see that they weren't. And then, but also at the same time, just weirded out by like how much backstory we were getting from her. And then that's when I realized, oh, there's more to it than just, time cop story.
Yeah, this is relevant. This is being shown to us for a reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah,
it was awesome.
I found myself accidentally predicting the movie as it was happening. We paused it for a brief moment, and I was thinking. I didn't say it out loud, but I was thinking to myself, "Oh, John's in the past with her former self. She's totally going to get with herself,
to nail herself.
But I mean, like the line where he was like,
where he reveals
"Hey,
that.
look, I don't shoot blanks anymore."
Yep. Yeah, it doesn't
That was
really
the
make any sense. It doesn't make any sense why they would be testing for that.
Yeah.
Time for your physical. Beat off into this cop.
We needed to establish that was possible.
Gee whiz, John, it looks like you're no longer sterile.
Oh goodness!
What a coincidence.
Yeah, I kind of thought about it ahead of time too, because they deliberately show you in those scenes the sort of memory of them. They don't show you who it is, and some of those moments were kind of foreshadowing. I don't know.
I just can't. There were a lot of things I predicted.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I predicted that Jane and John were both Ethan Hawke. Like, I predicted...
Well, the face burning
that,
off.
Yeah.
I thought that baby might have been Ethan Hawke, and of course that did turn out to be right anyways.
Yeah.
I could not predict that Jane was going to impregnate herself.
Knowing.
And then the baby they had was also going to be them.
Yeah.
Because what? I can't understand a situation where you would go back where anyone would go back in time, no matter how psychologically damaged they were, and be like, I could take a shot at it.
There's a whole episode of Internet Explorer regarding that. So people do talk about it.
Microsoft Internet Explorer?
No, another podcast by the name of Internet Explorer.
I only listen to Firefox.
Gotcha.
You listen to a web browser?
Yes.
No, the podcast is called Internet Explorer, and in an episode they talk about but
they talk about going back in time
and
and making out with themselves.
How much do you guys love yourselves? Because I don't think. Okay, they're supposed to be establishing that she was like an unlikable, ugly chick. She wasn't ugly. She was not. No.
Are you kidding me? She had glasses and... Okay, that's all it takes, right? To make that was a bad movie, like, let's make an attractive woman unattractive by putting glasses on her thing. That's...
Yeah, I think that they had to set up that she was like isolated and lonely and rejected and felt like nobody liked her in order to set up this thing where she could potentially fall in love with herself. Like, I don't know.
I don't get it.
Yeah.
Don't get it. Yeah.
And the male version of her knew that this happened in the past, so it was like,
where was the epiphany that, like, oh, I have to make myself, I'm a time cop and I'm on a mission to stop a bomber, and I'm like, you know what? If I don't get myself laid, I don't exist. Like, where?
I don't think it was contingent on that. I mean, I don't know if that would have happened. What do you guys think?
I think that he was hoping that part of him was hoping that he'd kill himself, I guess. Right? I don't know. I expected him to pull I'm going to spoil Looper, but to pull a Joseph Gordon-Levitt in Looper,
Yeah.
And especially during that laundry scene. Did the guy in when Ethan Hawke was playing the crazy guy in the laundromat? Did he remind you of the convenience workers in Hotline Miami?
No, but now that you bring it up, it looks exactly like him.
Obscure reference. Okay, I don't know what's going on. Hey,
like, do you think he would have ceased to exist if he had just been like, "Oh, sorry for bumping into you," and just walked away?
Where did his life start?
When he was born.
But in order for that to happen...
So in order for him to be a badass time cop, he had to go through all that life experience. And that's what he was talking to his boss about, right?
But in
Right.
order
At
for
some point.
him to be born, he.
And the question is, did he know that that person was him? Because they were saying that the jumps were making people, schizophrenic or a little bit crazy. I remember had like specific symptoms that he was experiencing. Like, how much did he know at the point where we start following him?
Yeah.
When he's the bartender.
See, I don't think that the male. This is hard to explain.
It's such a hard movie to explain.
Yeah.
Which male?
Definitely feel a little intimidated about it.
Not the Ethan Hawke male.
John.
The other male.
John Jane. Let's go.
I don't think he knew that he had to impregnate himself in order to be alive.
Okay.
I think that he just thought that.
I've had a dry spell, and this is the perfect opportunity.
He got out there and he was like, oh, of course I've fallen in love. I'm so great. Yeah. I mean, that shows us a level of narcissism.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But the person also hates themselves.
I think that there is definitely a lot of deep philosophy involved with that as well. That we can love ourselves and hate ourselves and at the same time. Dang. This movie's pretty deep.
I don't know. Oh, God.
That's what I'm fixating on. Audience, you couldn't see. Jose was just doing the straight line through the circle motion with his fingers. Because that happened.
Guilty. It happened. It's something that we can't ignore. It happened.
That beginning part where he's explaining the time travel stuff to the younger version of himself, he says he's never messed with his own past.
Right.
Liar.
So, like, he is his own past, like, over and over and over again.
That was his first time messing with it up until that point. Like her.
True till that moment.
That is
Yeah,
that
true
is the
till that
idea I
moment.
got. The point in the movie where we see that John Jane, that's what I'm calling the person that was at the bar before they get burned. John Jane first suits up and like smiles at Mr. Robertson. I think that is the start of like saving all kinds of lives, like the progress of trying to prevent the fizzle bomber.
Fizzle bomb.
But he used to be the other character.
Right.
And he did meddle with his own past by sleeping with himself.
Oh, that's a good point. Good point.
He's aware of it the entire time of his time cop career.
I think that he doesn't consider that to be him working as a time cop
It
meddling.
was before. Yeah, it was before she took up the occupation.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen. Okay.
It's time to get the whiteboard out on this one, guys.
No, I seriously
Write down
drew
everything.
like a diagram of how this worked. And
Murder!
it's really just one person. It's just one person.
Yeah.
Could they have done this farther? That's what I was wondering. Could they have like made it even more messed up?
Had he taken some sort of football playbook from the future and taken it into the past?
I just
Yeah.
don't get it.
I
Like,
think
how-
it ends up in the Biffaverse.
yeah, it was a mind bender.
Is it worth a rewatch?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe the reason I have a hard time is because I really love 12 Monkeys.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of 12 monkeys going on. I'd say at least 11 of the 12.
But I think it's cool on its own merit. I think Ethan Hawke does a really good job in it. But it's weird to think Ethan Hawke is trying to pretend to be that other person that you don't know he is at first.
Right. What?
I don't know.
I don't
It made
know
sense
either.
in my head.
We're in the time warp.
And I also kind of thought there were these infinite possibilities of like what could happen, but it was just like kept going back to the same exact intersection. Like like one person.
Yeah.
Like infinite possibilities through time and space. But this one person is the only one that matters.
In this story.
So, if one person was to impregnate themselves, would the combination of their genetic material come out to be an exact clone of the same person? I mean, I suppose if the only thing they have is their own genetic material, it's a possibility.
Guys who just invented cloning.
What?
I just thought the
travel
child probably had, something abnormal because they say that, some birth defects can happen if you're incestuous, like if you cross bloodline.
That's what I was thinking,
And I was
yeah.
thinking, okay, it's this same person with themselves, and then they end up having like a genetic anomaly at birth.
And the character did have a genetic
Yeah.
anomaly, so, yeah.
Oh, good point. Wow. Yeah.
Ethan Hawke.
Ethan Hawke is a lady.
That's some crazy Lannister stuff right there. Definitely some crazy Lannister.
Ethan Hawke is all of us.
Yeah.
I don't want to be Ethan Hawke. I mean, he's fine, but I want to be me. But I guess if I'm Ethan Hawke, I am me. So,
By the logic of this movie, yes.
I really liked the whole bar scene.
Yeah.
I really liked the whole storytelling and the flashbacks. And even if all those time travel twists hadn't happened the way they had, I think I would have enjoyed just that part of this movie so much. I would have given it, at least 3 stars out of 5. And I think the whole thing as a package deserves more than that.
It was great, but it started tapering off towards the end. Ever
Right.
so slightly. But I mean, where else could they go? So I can't really fault them for that.
Yeah. What else isn't like? Well, that's a stupid movie, The Butterfly Effect, but I mean, you can understand why somebody might make that comparison.
Ashton Kutcher himself?
How many times do I have to tell you to say the F word? The podcast is canceled.
Well, we had a
I've never
good,
seen Butterfly.
we had a good run, Joel. We had a good run.
I've never
Couple
seen
episodes.
I've never seen Butterfly Effect either. I've just heard
So there's a possibility.
the We Hate Movies podcast about.
Oh, okay.
I don't think he does.
Oh.
He kills himself in the womb.
He doesn't. I've seen
Whoa.
it. Somebody gave it to me as a gift
What?
Ah.
a long
Yeah.
time ago.
What else does it? What movies did it remind you of, Aaron? Anything?
I don't know.
Donnie Darko in a way. I don't know why, but I got shades of Donnie Darko.
Yeah,
That's a pretty awesome time traveling movie.
they're messing
I like
with
that
the
one.
time stream.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Can't remember that name of that time travel movie.
Back to the Future.
It's great.
The Time Machine.
No, that one's pretty cool too. I mean, not the one with the 7-Up dude,
With
but
the guy?
the original one's pretty good.
Wait a minute.
7-Up, dude.
Orlando Jones is amazing. I don't want to hear it from you. One time on Twitter, I mentioned his name and I got a favorite from his account.
Oh, way to go! Way to go!
I was like,
hey, no, I liked him.
yeah.
I liked him in Evolution. All right.
Evolution is a
that
movie
guy.
that I like, and I don't know. I feel ashamed for liking
Don't
it.
you dare feel
Yeah.
ashamed to like it. That's a beautiful movie.
Yeah. It's good and it's gross, but it's fun.
It's fun.
Yeah. Time Travel Paradox, the movie.
I don't think this particular film is one I'd probably seek out on my own, and so that's why I'm really glad we got to see it tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked it though. It's definitely much more serious than my normal movie viewing criteria.
You can't all be Beastmaster through the portal of time.
I wish though.
For some reason, it kind of reminded me of a Curious Case of Benjamin Button, too.
The flashbacks did for me. Yeah.
I think that was really well done. The whole, I don't know, I was expecting parts of this to be a lot worse than it was, because it wasn't, it seemed like it might have had a high production value, cost, but I know it's an indie movie. I mean, was it even in the theaters?
I want to say yes. Yeah, yes.
I was impressed by so much of it that I think I've just got stars in my eyes. So maybe I'm not being a fair critic.
No, I could see myself rewatching it just so I could sit other people down and see their reactions to it.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I see that happening.
I'm glad Will recommended this.
Yes, thank you.
Thanks, Will.
We all thank you from the bottom of our hearts. You know, there just may be nothing that we can really say about this movie. It's kind of point of the spoilers so that we could just talk without having anything to worry about getting ruined for somebody. But maybe it's just a movie that you have to experience by watching.
Yeah, I think if you watch it for yourself, you'll see. But if you're hearing this, like, sorry if we ruined it.
If you listened past the point where we said we were going to spoil everything and you're upset right now, maybe you should just stop listening to stuff. Things. Spoiler alert. The Titanic sunk.
It's just a movie.
What? You're one of those teenagers that thought the Titanic wasn't real? As far as I know, could have entered another time warp. This movie made me want to watch a bunch of different other sci-fi movies. I'll say that as one of my last thoughts. We got Time Crimes, which is a Spanish movie.
I love Time Crimes.
Yeah, I really want to do that for the podcast. Reminded me of that because it was all
Timey-wimey.
cyclical. What was going on the entire movie was affecting everything else.
Have you guys ever seen the Crichton time film? I forget what it was.
Timeline?
Timeline, yeah.
With Paul Walker?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
I've
Just checking.
seen it. I've
Just
seen
checking.
Sarah's seen it.
Yeah. That one.
Does
I don't know. I have no
Does Paul
words.
Walker have sex with himself?
Probably not.
No.
Probably not.
God rest his soul. Thank goodness he didn't.
Oh, goodness.
I'm trying to think of other time travel movies.
There was this indie one, but I can't remember the name of it.
Well, what happens in it? Do they try and
these guys,
travel?
no, these guys invent time travel, basically.
Oh, you're thinking of Primer.
Primer, yeah. I like that movie a lot.
Yeah, it's real good.
That's one of my favorite.
Happy
Time travel
accidents.
Happy Accidents, another time travel. Yeah.
Would
pretty
safety not guaranteed count?
Safety not guaranteed.
good. That's a
Would it
spoiler.
count?
I have yet to see Hot Tub Time Machine, but some people say it's fun. Some people
It's
don't.
not bad. Yeah. It's a movie.
I see that this is a room of people who don't like it.
Oh, I haven't seen
I've
it.
never seen
I
it.
haven't
No,
seen it.
I don't love it.
Yeah.
I mean, it would.
This is a
I've
room
seen
full
it.
of people that won't watch it.
Oh.
If it
I
comes up
haven't
on the
seen it.
podcast, I will.
Well, I haven't seen it either, so.
The only thing I wanted to see in that movie was Chevy Chase, and from what I hear, he's He's like 2 minutes.
2
in it.
seconds.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
kind of lame.
Yeah, forget it.
Yeah, forget it.
Yeah.
Flight of the Navigator.
Fly the Navigator.
The 1996 Doctor Who time travel movie.
That's
There literally was just one whole iteration of the Doctor that
You're
was
talking
considered
about-
a movie.
The 8 is it the 7th or 8th? Is
Yeah.
it the one that came back for the Night of the Doctor
Yep.
short.
Mhm.
Yeah, that guy's from With Nail and I. That's really cool. I like that guy. Handsome man.
Yeah.
If I was him, I'd go back in time and have sex with myself.
Yep.
I don't know.
Unfortunately, I look like me. Very disappointing.
No.
I don't think I would have sex with myself, though, to be honest with you.
Aaron,
Nah.
you love yourself. You're so cuddly.
No.
Hey,
No.
one thing leads to another. You can't.
What you're saying is the future self is going to set myself up with myself
Yeah.
so that I'm born?
Probably.
Your future lady self is going to go back in time.
No, it's ruined if you know your parents.
It is. It really is.
I know my
So-
parents. Oh no! I met them.
Oh, that's true. I wasn't adopted, so. Or
Yeah.
that I know of.
Oh
So
yeah,
get
we're
that
not the
blood work
perfect
done and
babies.
fine.
Yeah, nobody here can be the chronomancer.
Oh yeah, can you explain to us how time travel works?
That's right.
I think that's why you're here, right?
Correct.
Well, the way
Sugar packets and straws.
the way I learned it, at least, you take one of those grandfather clocks and just move one of those hands backwards a a few notches. And just like that, you've moved through time.
Holy crap. It's pretty good.
It's so smooth,
that.
too.
There's a really...
Feels like nothing happened at all.
I thought this was going to be the moment in like Jurassic Park where you grab my wrist and you're doing like the Jeff Goldblum thing, showing the chaos theory.
He was just doing that to try to get into Dr. whatever her name's pants.
Oh, very well.
Yeah.
Wait, Jose, are you Aaron from the future? Oh my gosh, we figured it out. It's like that thing I said on Twitter about us being in the same room, so one of us is going to get pregnant. Oh man, this is cyclical.
This is
it's
so
happening.
true. It's so true.
It's
Joel.
happening.
I'm Aaron from the
It's all
future.
happening.
Oh, damn.
It's all,
Aaron, I've never been so attracted.
it's all happening.
All you had to do is shave that beard. Fantastic. Okay, so here's a question. If you could go back in time to experience something that you had not been able to experience, either because you were too young or because it was an event that you just missed in your lifetime for some reason or not, if you could pick like a moment or an item you'd like to see that you can't see anymore, what comes to mind? Like just off the top of your head.
Austin Powers Gold member, opening day, big screen.
Okay, I'm turning the podcast off.
No, anything.
Let's
If
turn
you
this
could,
podcast around. We're going
if
home.
you could go back in time and do anything that you wanted to.
Yeah, speaking of time travel, those
Okay.
two Austin Power movies.
Shoot.
Man, I don't know why, but Kill Hitler was the first thing that came to my mind.
Everyone wants to kill
That was the
Hitler.
first thing, and it's so cliched. Damn me. That was the first thing I thought of.
What if you go back in time to kill Hitler and then you end up having sex with him and then you're Hitler's father?
No!
Quaaludes.
That's a good point.
Yes. Go back in time, get Quaaludes before they disappear.
Quaaludes.
Get the really good
Yeah,
cough
right.
medicine,
Yeah.
cold medicine before.
Oh yeah, get all that cough medicine before they take it off the market.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. I'm telling
We're
you.
getting all these products that, by the way, these do terrible things or terribly great, depending on how you look at them.
Go back in time and try Pepsi Clear one more time.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah, that is honestly, I was thinking.
Yeah, I was just
Crystal Pepsi.
Yeah.
Except I've had it. I've had it in my lifetime.
Well, but I want to try it again.
Oh,
That's
okay.
why I said. Or maybe some more Ecto Cooler.
Surge.
I would enjoy being able to walk my friends up to the gate at the airport and say goodbye.
Oh yeah.
Have a nice trip.
Jose, you have no idea.
No.
We used to be. Not only did we used to be able to walk people straight up to the gate when, like, right before they got on the plane, but we would be able to meet them at the exit
You
gate
could
when
hug
they
them.
got off.
You could
the
hug
plane.
them as they
That's weird.
boarded
Yeah.
and deboarded.
That's why, see, whenever I saw that in movies, I thought...
You thought this is a movie.
Bullshit.
Yeah.
Fantasy.
I remember doing it.
Oh yeah, I remember big time because I did a lot of traveling before that.
I didn't do much. I only traveled once, actually.
Before the
Before
that, yeah.
Mm.
Maybe I'd stop that from happening if I could stop one thing.
Dang.
That's Ex Machina.
That's pretty intense.
I guess he only prevents one in Ex Machina, right? Have you read that one?
No.
I think that's part of the premise.
Ex Machina, yeah, he's the superhero politician.
You
Yeah,
could speak to the electronics.
yeah, to the
I didn't know what
machines.
you were talking about.
Yeah,
Ex
Brian
Machina.
K. Vaughan. Brian
Right.
K. Vaughan written book.
Mhm. Comical book.
Oh.
Comic book.
Yeah. It's also a movie about a sexy robot, but that's not the same thing.
I still haven't seen that.
Yeah.
It's great.
I think we're running dry. We're running dry. People are falling
Who would
asleep.
you want to see?
Time travel. Who would I want to meet?
Nikola Tesla.
Nah, he's a freak.
Tesla's awesome. And not just because David Bowie played him.
David Bowie. David Bowie.
I'd like to go back in time and
David
meet
Bowie.
David Bowie playing Nikola Tesla. What are you doing on this set? Oh, I just wanted to meet you, sir. Bye.
I'll go back in time and meet Daniel Webster so I can know how he really is.
This is a
It's like the biggest horses.
serious
I'm so-
question.
I'm so amazed.
Have a rum drinking contest
Oh,
with
boy.
Daniel Webster. I'd like to go back in time. I'd like to go back in time about 5 months and tell myself how to do the audio on our first podcast so it doesn't sound so bad.
Dude, every podcast is like that. Every podcast.
Hey, it's my fantasy.
All right. Yeah, you're right. I shouldn't debunk your fantasy.
Marty! Okay.
There are a few things I would tell myself if I could go back in time knowing what I know now. But
It's a rabbit hole. We'll keep going until we reach every destination, until we make the perfect us, and then we'll go back in time and sleep with ourselves. We've already shown this to happen.
No, I wouldn't still.
scientifically
So
proven.
it wasn't in the
Not
future.
without a condom.
To go back to the movie real quick, he said that time travel was invented in 1981. And he said that they could only go 53 years into the future or into the past from that point, which is interesting.
Pretty specific number.
Yeah. That reminded me of Looper in the way that it's like, you know, you want me to explain time travel, but I'm not going to go into that because we'll be here all day kind of thing. Like, we would just kind of say something, and that's part of the movie now.
I thought that was okay. Yeah, I thought that was
I
good.
didn't really
didn't
need
need
an explanation of how the music box worked,
Right.
or the
But
case.
I did
Tiny
kind of
whiny box.
wonder about the world that they were in present day, and I wondered like how different that world was aside from these like agents and the ability to time travel, like if that was the only difference.
When Jane was in space camp,
Yeah.
there was a lot of really super high tech
True.
stuff going on.
I noticed that.
I'm
too.
thinking it's
and there
not-
was no explanation
Yeah.
as to why
It would
they
have been
had such
there.
high tech. I mean, obviously later on when they said that there was a joint with the time travel agency, maybe
Right, that makes sense. But
stuff.
But they were saying things that they were like commonplace, like, oh, these space travelers and all this stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I think that it was not supposed to be our
Yeah.
world
Okay.
because of that. Okay. I think we're wrapping it up. We've gone into nonsense because you should just watch the movie.
Yeah.
You know,
Okay.
sit down with a friend to watch it and then like talk about it because it's fascinating.
Yeah, even just bringing it up with you guys right now, I feel like I thought of things I didn't think of after realizing what was happening in the movie.
I feel bad. It's difficult to do the movie justice.
Yeah, you have to see it for yourself to understand. And even then you're kind of trying to figure it out.
And then you have to watch it a second time with this podcast as a commentary track.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
What does it have to do with Catholicism, though? No, wait, that's doppelganger. Anyway, next week, we're watching Sabrina the Teenage Witch from 1996. Join us then, will you? So, before we sign off, what lessons did we learn? Number one.
Don't yourself.
I was waiting for that. I was waiting for that.
Why? Oh, God. Sarah?
Wow.
Don't trust yourself.
Trust no one.
Aaron?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I'm going to go to any bars anytime soon. That's definitely what I'm learning from this movie.
I mean, you weren't going to do that anyway.
That bar was like a purgatory or something.
Definitely not. That guy had a really, really old song on that jukebox.
Yeah.
Being their own grandfather. Who was writing that song?
That's probably where the whole movie came from.
Yeah.
Tripping on a song.
Now, what? Robert Heinlein was tripping on a song, and so he wrote the story?
I don't know.
I'm going to have to go read the story now.
I'm just
Yeah.
kidding. I just thought, like, that's sometimes how movies are made.
And the last lesson is, if you meet an older man, maybe you shouldn't sleep with him, even if he's super charming. That's kind of what Jose said.
More or less.
There's nothing else to learn from the movie. Watch it. That's the movie.
Things
By
you
that
should learn.
logic, an education would never be made.
Sometimes a violin case isn't
What are you
just a
talking about?
violin case.
Huh?
Yeah, sometimes the violent
The
cases.
film.
Yeah.
Carrie Mulligan slept with her older man self?
Older charming man. You didn't say self.
Oh. Yeah.
Semantics. Anyway.
Okay, we'll see you next week. Bye.
Thank you, Will.
Thanks, Will.
Thanks, Will.
Jose, you're the worst.